From Snow's Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway at 74 in Gonzales. Welcome into the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hanniger along with Jimmy Odd and Jordan Kinch's back in the studio. If you're with us on YouTube today, we are for the moment experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty as far as radio feed. We hope to have that corrected here in the next few minutes. In the meantime, the beautiful sights and sounds on YouTube only. We're here on the patio at Snow's because, well, the weather's perfect.
It's perfect.
It is perfect. The absolute best you could ask for: sunshine, moderate temperatures, and but you can come out and share.
Gradually warming
today.
Over the day. I mean, our springs have dipped into February, huh? Let's take it, baby.
That's okay.
That's a win.
We had snow this year. Remember?
That's a win, dog.
Remember the snow?
I remember a week ago.
Yes, exactly. So we're glad that you're with us today. As always on Wednesdays, we'll have Scott Rabelais, Randy McKay, Wes Reynolds. We got consensus golf picks. So lots to get to, and a ton of college basketball going on. One of the best nights for us last night, Jimmy, was a really
Great
strong
night.
Really strong night. I know I missed the show yesterday, but Georgia was I'm going to say an easy cover. They were up 26. Florida came back, took the lead. I didn't think Florida was ever going to cover the number, but for a minute there, it looked like they might actually
get it to overtime.
You get it to overtime. It's going to be dicey, but the 26-point lead evaporated all the way. And it wasn't just a 26-point lead from the first half. They had an 11-point lead late. I'm going to say it was 87 to 75. No, that's not right. 84 to 77, somewhere in that area. And Florida caught them. I know it's 78 to 67 was the score. It was an 11-point lead with 4 minutes to go, and Florida caught them. And a big three that Georgia hit that gave them the lead back, and they eventually go on to win.
It was a white kid from the right wing. They had put it back up 2, huh?
It did.
Yeah.
And even 82 to 80, they were down.
Kind of lost him, and that was
81.
That's my biggest thing on Florida. I mean, they were sloppy in Baton Rouge for a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna, Charlie? Do you know what? So they shot 54% from the field, from the floor for the game.
Yeah.
15-minute mark in the second half. What do you think their field goal percentage was?
At the 15-minute mark of the second half, well, gosh, it had to be higher than that. It had to be probably closer to 60, I would think.
67%.
Oh my!
I can't remember. I mean, that's a second media timeout. That's a 11:48 to go in the first half. Man, look at this! It came out scorching. Not 25 minutes into the game.
No.
And that, so there's two sides of the story. And this is why I like Georgia. We hit on it. I did not play the money line, though. I didn't either, no. But, I mean, they had two home games left. They're way better at home than they are. And I liked, and on the podcast I talked about it, I liked how I was really turned off on how they wilted in College Station. I thought they were way more mentally tough. They battled. They competed way better on Saturday at Auburn. The score was
lost by 12, I think.
Yeah, but they were in there. Man, they
weren't going to win the game, but they were scrappy. They were competitive.
Man, they just didn't wilt. They just didn't collapse like they did at A&M. Now that was a collapse, man. So it's just but is Florida have the defense? Now the metrics say they have a top 25 defensive efficiency. I don't know about after last night. I still think it's pretty safe. But is that a defense you could bring and win 6 games in a row? Not like they played last night.
No.
Is it the defense that went to Auburn that singled and didn't get off the shooters against Janai Broome? You know, whether it was Condon or the other guys, and they rotated. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because those points Auburn got that day, and they got beat by double digits, but those were hard points. They played defense in that one. But you got to be consistent. You got to be mature, you know, to win 6 in a row.
What would bother me if I was Todd Golden over the last 2 games is you guys have gone long stretches, not 4 6-minute stretches. You've gone 20 to 25-minute stretches, or I guess in the LSU case, it was more like an 8-minute stretch. Okay. Where you just collapsed. Okay. I mean, how many teams is LSU going on a 22-2 run against? Nobody. Non-conference. Nobody. And how many times has Georgia shot? These are the last 2 teams Florida's played.
Right.
How many times has Georgia
shot 67%, 25 minutes? I ain't seen any. We watch enough college. I haven't seen a college basketball game in a long time. Villanova against Georgetown in the final, 67% at the 15-minute mark in the second half. That's crazy. Yeah. No, I hadn't seen that.
No. Tell you what we're going to do. I think we've got our issue fixed. We are going to take an early break here, and when we come back, we'll be back on terrestrial radio here at Snow Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway in Gonzales, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Steak on Airline Highway in Gonzales, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Jordan.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back?
Jordan.
Hi, I'm attorney.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Charlie.
Gonzales, that's all right. Okay. It happened.
Live at lunch.
That's my fault.
That's okay. Things happen. Jordan, we'll just take it out of this break all the way to 11:30.
Oh, I hit the break for you guys.
Right, it's going on right now, right?
Yeah, the break's going on.
Yeah, okay. So that'll be the 12 break, and then we'll take it to break too. Yeah. Okay. All right, where's the stab today?
11:42.
11:42, and Randy at 11:30, Rabbit noon, Wes at noon 15.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Statewide, or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood? Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Well, I guess along with those sizzling steaks, we do have wood-fired oysters and scallops, beautiful sea bass, fresh Gulf fish and shrimp, and rich Ora King salmon. So yeah, Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Jefferson Highway across from Palermo Ristorante. Tell Leo that Kevin sent you. And don't forget, there ain't no cake in that crab cake. Come and see us.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patiello at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Get ready, Louisiana, for a brand new experience in the city of New Roads on Saturday, March the 1st. It's the first ever night parade with the crew of Shaman-Nuff. Celebrate Mardi Gras with beautiful illuminated floats and exciting marching bands. Throughout the day, visit the Family Fun Zone featuring carnival rides, the petting zoo, and take a pony ride. Fun for the whole family, Saturday, March the 1st in New Roads. Visit crewofshamaneth.com to learn more, including the parade route and prepaid parking information. Visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Feeling off your game? Low T might be the culprit. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has your back. Revitalize your energy and your mood. Let Goodwood help you get back to peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, now we're back right. a little problem back
It's
with
like the Florida Mississippi State defense last night, huh?
just missing for 10 minutes.
LSU offense. But
they're
kind of
against a really good Tennessee defense.
That's a look. But they, like I said, I mean, McMahon likes to get up and run. I'm like, man, you're running a style that doesn't match your roster. But that was low. That was 30 or so points below the total.
The total was 139.5. They finished at 124. But
okay, 15.
But it was a. Let me ask you what you would have done, because I wasn't on the show yesterday. Had a day, but yesterday I loved the LSU Tennessee under. I just didn't think that they 139.5 at half.
See how you're evolving.
Here's
5 years ago you wouldn't have bet an under.
Right,
it's true.
No, it absolutely is true. Especially a game I have to watch. But at halftime it's 26-23. So this under is going to win with room to spare. Okay, they're not, unless they go double overtime. There's no way. But the in-game total was 120, was 122.5. I got a 17-point middle, but I don't know if they can get to 122.5. So that was they're at 49. They got to score 73 points in the second
Charlie,
half. I don't know if they can do it.
What I'm doing, and I apologize to our audience for taking this time. There was much time to do it, but I'm staring. So ultimately, the most I want to have is anywhere from 25 to 50%.
We're talking about a middle now.
A middle,
yeah.
But I'll take 10%,
mm-hmm.
and then see if like the Cincinnati Baylor game. I took Baylor plus 10.5, and then later I took Baylor plus 3.5. When Cincinnati minus 1.5, by the way, pays to shop. I mean, just going to tell you, we post the picks on the Otter Locks was DraftKings lines, but there was plenty of 1.5s out there. So the other thing is, so that's you come back and do another 10% if you want,
mm-hmm.
or So I would have. If I was just put 10% on the middle, did it hit? Did it get to the middle? I don't think so.
By 1.5.
Oh boy! Oh, it did.
By 1.5.
Did you?
I did for 20%. So,
wow.
But you had to hustle.
Those middles correct a lot of wrongs, huh?
Yes, it did help. That was my only thing is a 17-point middle. Well, gosh, this is huge, but are they going to actually score enough points to get there? And they did at the very end. But this was
a little flurry by LSU to cover the game also.
Yeah,
so down like 14.
Yep.
And they got the big reversal.
Yes,
that would have made it kind of interesting. That put it away at that point. Tennessee missed a free throw or two, but the kid hit the three.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a game that played out like it was supposed to. Tennessee's got the top defense in the conference. Maybe some people think the top defense in the country, and it was going to be hard for LSU to score, and they did. They got to 59 points. Tennessee is offensively sporadic. I had to laugh when I don't know if you saw this play in the first half. Zakai Ziegler is out dribbling, and they scream from he's about, I don't know, 24 feet away from the goal, straight on. And you see Barnes on the sideline. He goes, shot clock, and it's down to a second. And he just got it. They had lost track of the offense, and he just got to heave it, and he banked it off the glass, and it was good.
He loses track way too much.
Yeah, for a senior,
yes.
for his placement. But I had to laugh at that point because I'm like, oh well, it's going to look good in the box score for Ziegler, who took 5 3-pointers last night. That was the only one he made. And shouldn't have made that one. It was a heat.
Oh, he banked it off the glass.
Banked it off the glass. Yeah,
made it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
that's the only one he made.
Okay.
But Tennessee dominated this game on the glass. They had a 16 rebound edge on the glass.
And LSU gets out rebounded on a regular basis. So this is a team that stresses defending and rebounding. That's a staple of Barnes since he's been there. So no surprise there.
And Matt McMahon has, gone with this 4-guard lineup. This is 4 games now. He apparently they're going to stay with that the rest of the way. So you're going to be at a disadvantage. 17 offensive rebounds for Tennessee last night. They turned that into a massive advantage. I think they had on the 17 offensive rebounds. They had 28 points, I believe it was. So the game played out exactly like it should. Yeah, the game played out exactly like it probably should have. A low-scoring game that Tennessee won. They didn't cover, but they were. LSU was within 3 at the half, and it didn't feel that way to me. It didn't feel like, gosh, LSU can really win this game because they had to work so hard for every bucket. I mean, Cam Carter, God bless him. They sent Mashback around with him, and Mashback could have, been inside his jersey with him. So that's what you do when you play LSU. You figure out who's your best defender. Yeah. You go put him on Carter. You isolate him and say, somebody else can beat me. There was one play where in the first half, Damian Collins gets the ball in the lane, and he's got literally 3 people on him. And he just kind of, at the end of the shot clock, he just kind of puts it off. It goes off the glass. He gets an and one, and I'm like, man, it was like he had to haul, 50 pounds of cement just to get that one bucket. So give LSU credit for competing, but Tennessee was going to win that game. I know it ended up being a 6-point game, and it feels like it was close. Watching the game, I did not feel like there was no point in the game like LSU's got a real shot here. Even at halftime when it was a 3-point game, I just thought, no, Tennessee's a little bit too good.
They got it down to about 5 or 6 in the second half.
Yeah.
No. The final score is that was a flurry where they had no chance.
They got down 14 was the biggest deficit,
right? But the closest they were when I was like, they kind of hanging around a little.
7 minutes to go, they were down 7 points.
Okay, that's in the game.
Yes,
that's in the game.
But I didn't feel. I'm like, they're not going to be able to finish it. If they had a possession, let's say they'd gotten down to the 2-minute mark, and it was a tie game or a 1-possession game. I'm like, I don't know where they go to get a bucket.
I think the closest the end game got was 9.5.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about laying the points with Tennessee because they don't score enough, and on the road,
they could have just as easily covered as they
did. Yeah. I thought that was a coin. I thought the under was the much better play. So that worked.
They got there. A couple of things. I think it's some of the. Is it just college broadcasters that are just super positive?
Yes.
Okay. Because
not that I'm making a point to listen to a ton of NBA stuff, but I've noticed that myself where you're down 9 with 40 seconds to go, and they're like, "Man, they got to get a bucket here." Dude, the game's over.
Oh no, well, the guy doing the Super Bowl was trying to keep us in it too, Charlie. That was
right.
Come on, man.
I understand you're trying to keep the audience engaged, but come on.
but it's when just the praise over and over of Ziegler. There was one broadcaster said, Ziegler, who has no weaknesses.
No, that's.
I mean,
I who like him,
know,
I acknowledge his weaknesses.
No, I got a list for you.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm like, is that just adding to my, sort of my criticism of him? My thing is, And you got that many starts, one program. You should make better decisions. You should have better awareness on the court than the coach screaming at you, watch the damn shot clock.
Right.
I mean,
and it happened more than once last night. That time they bailed him out.
And that's what his instincts aren't great. You know, I mean, the best quarterbacks kind of know when to get rid of the ball, because even if they don't see, they know they only have so much time. You kind of have that clock in your head when you're the predominant ball handler for 4 full seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta do better than that. I mean, we know about the 1 for 17 when he's a less than 30% 3-point shooter. Just acting up what over a 2-game stretch. But and the other thing was Bradshaw. Bradshaw last night says, "Man, I'm really impressed with this LSU team and McMahon."
Why? I mean, if you could stop the broadcast right now, say why.
Now, okay, well, he did expound, but say, man, they're just playing so hard. Their shoot around was real positive, and when you're this deep into a season, you know, when you have this record, when you fall behind, you usually phone it in.
I'll give him that. They haven't quit.
So, but I mean, but I think there's a better way to present it. Man, I'm impressed with LSU at McMahon. I mean, he's got the worst record since he's been here in the SEC, and it's not close, is it?
Right. They're 3 games behind Georgia now. After
3 games behind Georgia
over almost a 3-year period now.
Yeah,
and that's 13th out of 14. You know, not counting Texas and Oklahoma. No, I'll give McMahon that. They're still playing hard. A couple of the freshmen, you know, Victorious Miller had had a nice game last night. Robert Miller has done some nice things. Now you look at a team like Miami, whose team they've quit. Okay, they are playing the string out. They know their new coach is on Duke's bench. Okay, they're going to hire. They're going to hire that guy, Shia's lead assistant. His name's escaping me right now, but that's who Miami's going to.
Duke guy, huh?
They're going to hire. Yeah, Miami's. They're going to hire him.
But I don't know who it is. I hadn't heard.
I forgot his name.
But I mean, he's got to be. How many non-Duke guys they have on the Duke bench? It's just they're a tight knit group.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. You looked at them last night. They've mailed it in.
You want to know why they mailed it in? How about Hamilton's crew at Florida State?
Same thing. He's on his way out, and they're going to follow. Most of the roster's going to follow him out the door.
They shot 54% from the field, 50% from 3, 75% from the line, and got beat by double digits. You think they're playing defense at all?
No. John Lucas is the guy I was trying to. I was trying. Yeah,
not the John Lucas.
Huh? Jai
okay,
Lucas. Yeah,
okay.
He's barring something really unforeseen. He's going to be the next coach at Miami. They didn't even want to try to.
We were off the air when we were talking Georgia, Florida, and that's a highlight of the game because Georgia was on the next 4 out. They moved to first 4 out. Wow, geez, they were probably done if they didn't get this. Is their best win of the year, but we know about the home wins. Kentucky. Okay, they beat Kentucky. They beat Oklahoma. Big deal. But you know the win they got that gets better and better, huh?
Help me out.
Neutral. St. John's.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
So that's a good. So now they're on the first 4 out in Lenardi's. But I mean, where are they now? 5-10.
5-10.
5-10, and you know, people are already chirping. There were some people at the Queen that were like, really? 4-10, and they're in right now talking about Oklahoma and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, how many non-Power 5 at-larges are they going to have? You're going to have some out the Mountain West. San Diego State and New Mexico are probably both at-large teams, and Utah State. So that's probably a 3-bid league. That's your strongest non-Power 5 league.
The American.
I don't think UCSD, Cal Irvine loser is going to get in. Even with UCSD's like 38 or NET.
That's one of those things where the 12th best team or the 14th, 13th best team in the SEC, they go to play against one of these teams that you're talking about, and they're gonna be favored. The Mountain West right now, Lenardi's got 3 out of the Mountain West. He's got 4 out of the ACC. And
that's how bad the ACC is. You got one guy who quit before the year started, and 2 more that quit in the year.
Yeah,
I mean, three coaches quit. Just quit. Florida State, Virginia, and Miami.
31 of the bids are soaked up by 3 leagues. If you believe Lenardi, and we do usually. SEC, Big 10, Big 12, 31 bids out of 68.
Well, they expand the conferences so much, but how many? So you got 2 extra out the Mountain West, and you got Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
Yeah,
on the West Coast. That's it, huh?
And that's it.
So you got
ACC and the Big East have 4
3
each.
at-larges, non-Power 5 at-larges.
4 bids out of the ACC. That just looks like a misprint, right? Or out of the Big East. We've seen years where
I don't think it's reversing itself either.
Less the money does.
But Florida defensively, how much does that concern you? I mean, the Georgia at the 15-minute mark of the second half is shooting 67%. Or when they play great defense at Auburn when they upset them. I mean, is Golden? And here's why one of the metrics for teams that win it all, and the only one that's an outlier for everything, was Shabazz Napier and Kevin Ollie for UConn when they won it. They were like an 8 seed, and he went nuts. One of the metrics is the coach with Sweet 16, at least Sweet 16 experience. He doesn't have it. He's got everything else. The only 3 that qualify: Duke, Auburn, and Houston.
Yeah, it would bother the hell out of me if I was
Alabama's not top 25 defensive efficiency.
It would bother the hell out of me because you're 3 weeks away from the postseason, and I can show you 2 first-half films. If I'm Golden, I sit down with my team and I say, "Let me show you 2 teams. One is definitely not going to be in the tournament, and one may or may not get in the tournament. LSU and Georgia, who played you off your feet for large portions of the game. Now those were road games, I get it, but."
They got sloppy.
You go 22-2 in Baton Rouge, and you let them shoot 67% in Athens. You're going to face better teams in this. Probably in the second round, you're going to get 1 layup because you're going to be a high seed. But the second game, man, if Georgia gets in, they're not a 9 seed or an 8 seed. They're probably an 11 seed. You're going to see somebody better than this in the second game of the NCAA tournament. You play like this, you're going to get beat.
Charlie, remember when I said that because your conference – your strength of conference is done once conference play starts.
Yeah.
Even more so this year because you usually had the SEC Big 12 challenge. This year you had the in like February. Now you had the ACC SEC challenge in December. It was 14-2. So all the hay was in the barn, minus an odd, Duke Illinois game, on a Saturday. But I'll tell you, they're going to be a team or 2 with a losing record. You're going to have, I'll say this, you're going to have the worst conference record ever for an at-large.
Okay. Yeah.
What is it right now? Like 3 games, or was there a 4? Was there a 7-11 team that made it? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you're going to have a. I mean, 5 or 6 is going to be tough, but you're going to have at least that. You may, I mean, 8. I guess if you count the the tournament game as well, but I mean, 6-12 probably not. So 7-11. You're going to have a probably not 6-12 because it's on an even number.
You know what else I was reminded?
Because it's got to be 2 games.
You know what else I was reminded of last night is that the next 2 power teams out of the power conferences don't make the NCAA, make the NIT. Somebody called like, she's going to make the NIT. I'm like, come on, they're going to have a losing record. Doesn't matter.
Well, the non-SEC teams are going to play in the Queen, the Vegas tournament.
Oh, okay.
That Fox is putting on, and I think because it's like the two that just are out in the Big East, they go to the Queen tournament, in Vegas.
Okay.
So it's all major conferences minus the SEC.
Basically, all LSU's got to do to finish in front to make the NIT is finish in front of South Carolina.
Are they going to have a winning record?
No, and they don't have to anymore.
Oh, they don't have to.
No, right? That's the point. They changed the rule. It's like the next 2 teams out of the power conferences.
They won't make the NIT.
No, they're going to. I'm telling you. That's they're taking the next 2 teams out of the power conferences that don't make the NCAAs, regardless of record.
Well, then, so they're going.
You don't have to have a winning record.
They're going to finish ahead of South Carolina.
Yeah.
So if 13 make it, but if 12 make it, they won't.
Yeah.
I think 12 are going to make it.
Okay. Well, if that's the case.
But Oklahoma, they give them a little cushion. That one game against Michigan, that game they stole.
Yeah.
We got a great card tonight, too, as well.
You know what else we got? Got good gumbo.
It's not gumbo. It's butter bean and sausage soup. That's what it is. Well, Suarez posted on social media that he cooked some good butter beans. So I think it inspired the chef over here at Snow Seafood to say it is good. It's a lot of okra. It's a clear soup. It's not a creamy soup. It is delicious. A little tomato, a little onion, spice just right. You talk about outstanding. A little butter bean and sausage soup is a special over here today. Lunch specials over here at Snow Seafood and Steak. The black pepper beef, tenderloin cooked with onions and pepper, and a rich Asian soy glaze served with white rice, and the cilantro lime shrimp salad. Grilled shrimp on a bed of mixed greens, bacon, black beans, roasted corn, Parmesan cheese, grilled lime wedges, served with the cilantro ranch dressing. Thursday, our lunch special, the red beans Francis. That's the red beans with the golden fried catfish strips and the shrimp cobb salad. And Friday, Zapp's catfish. That's right, catfish strips rolled in a mustard batter and spicy Zapp's potato chips, then fried golden brown with the jalapeno tartar sauce for dipping in the shrimp green goddess salad. That's at Snow Seafood and Steak. We're out on a patio today, soaking up this gorgeous weather. Randy McKay, which see how he does in his offseason. I want to ask him about his thoughts on ranking Kellen Moore and that hire as well. But you got LSU. One thing we won't debate on. We debate on LSU schedule. We won't debate that this is the teeth of the non-conference schedule.
Yes.
I mean, that is clear as the weather is today. And then we got Wes Reynolds. Wes Reynolds, the first three guys he had were all on the leaderboard coming down the stretch and all bombs away. Pot man couldn't do it. And your boy gets the break of all breaks. It's over at that point. Smiley Kaufman in flight. Charlie goes, he's going to need a real bounce here. And he got it. I want to know Wes Reynolds' reaction for those 2 to 3 seconds. What was he thinking?
I know what I was thinking when I saw it hit. It was like the president was playing golf. You know why? Because the president puts the Secret Service guys in the out of bounds and they throw it back in bounds for the president.
You know what else? We had to, so you used to have the Tight Lies tournament. So you had these golfers that stayed at the houses in Blue U Club and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we had some Texas Tech golfers. Oh, the biggest cheater.
Right.
Bobby Knight.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Who's gonna tell him?
It's like, who's gonna tell the president?
Come on, coach. I mean,
they put that in a movie once with Gene Hackman, and then after that, they've been accusing Trump of that for years. They say, hey, man, kick the ball back in bounds. Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
A parade of savings await you all month long with Mardi Gras markdown pricing at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales. Now's the time to expect more Supreme savings, more Supreme selection, and more Supreme satisfaction. Choose from one of the area's best selections of new Silverados, Tahoes, Traverses, and all the other great Supreme Chevrolet values. For more, please visit SupremeChevy.com. That's SupremeChevy.com. Or together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales.
Guarantee Media is hiring. Come join the company that's been named as one of the best places to work in Baton Rouge. Local and committed to your career growth. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com, an equal opportunity employer. GuaranteeMedia.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend bets against your team, end the friendship. Or choose chill because you're drinking Coors Light with your buddy. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
South Louisiana has long been the seafood capital of the world, and now you can get high-quality fried seafood at a quick-service restaurant. From the guys who brought you Couillon's Barbecue, it's Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Government between Foster and Jefferson. Enjoy clean fried fish and Gulf shrimp in our renovated dining room or drive on through. We've got catering packages for the tailgate and our tackle box kids meals for the little ones. Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Seafood. Government between Foster and Jefferson. CorksFishandShrimp.com.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
When you've been in the industry for over 20 years, you learn a few things. For one thing, you learn your product inside and out, but you also learn how to ask the right questions and give satisfying answers. Jim's Firearms.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Craving an unforgettable dining experience? Head to Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel, where culinary excellence meets a welcoming atmosphere. Awarded the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence, Tallulah is one of just 6 Baton Rouge restaurants to earn this prestigious honor. Join us for live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, or enjoy our weekly Blue Plate lunch specials and happy hour favorites. Visit Tallulah at the Renaissance Baton Rouge, where every meal is a celebration.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Construction, welding, maintenance, and fabrication. Action Industries does it all. Proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. All college football, all year long. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's get our buddy Randy McKay. Big dog, where you at right now, man?
Well, I'm just hanging out in Colorado here, and probably have a big announcement here. I'm going to relocate next year into another state, so working on the finalizing of a new place to live.
I told you not to tell. Let me tell Charlie in private that you're taking over his role here on the show.
You moving in next door to Jimmy?
I don't think we've ever heard Randy laugh that much.
Make you do chores around the house on the weekends.
Oh,
EJ's not there anymore.
Oh, you're gonna have to pick weeds, brother. I mean, you're gonna have to cut the sides. Look, I do the front and edge and stuff like that. I like it.
You know how to work a pressure washer?
Yes. So, where are you headed, Randy?
Now I'm heading to the Arizona for there's a big announcement heading to Arizona for next year, and going to be about an hour and a half from Las Vegas, across the river there in Laughlin, Nevada. The town's called Bullhead City, Arizona. So that's where I'm relocating to. That's where I got my start as a crap stealer in the early 90s. So 30 years later, moving back.
A little warmer there than the Dakotas or Colorado.
What is it? Is it the same type of weather as the Phoenix area?
Yeah, in fact, even in the summer, it's even hotter probably there with the river effect. But I won't be there during the summer. I'll be like a snowbird. I'll be back in North Dakota at that time.
So next time LSU opens up in Vegas and we're walking across the interstate, you're not gonna make me so nervous, huh? You're gonna be a little bit more prepared for that.
Yeah, I'll be a little better acclimated. Let's put it that way. I'll be walking some of my desert trails rather than mountain trails up here.
So Randy, people confuse maybe an experienced gambler with a professional sports gambler, and sometimes and that means you don't have any other income coming in. It's real simple, but you have to, I mean, your job is you can't afford not to take advantage of all the comps. Like, no, I have to go on this, five times points day and put so much action on these machines to get my comps exactly. Me and Charlie look at, our Beau Rivage BetMGM points is we're still trying to figure it out, all the time. They do give points on the sports and things like that. But you went to Arizona when they launched, and I think they had like 20 or 24 mobile sports books that launch at the same time. And when they launch in a state, they're all offering sign-up bonuses. And so you open up an account for, I like Louisiana, the first month they showed a loss, as far as because the bonuses, they're short-lived, but it's valuable to the different books to capture the marketplace, to get so many subscribers, so many customers moving forward. It's kind of, what do you call it, Charlie? That soft opening when they give them food and drinks away free at a restaurant.
Soft opening,
basically, it's a gambling soft opening. Go back to that time when you went there and just like you lived there for like 6 months or so. But share our audience with how you did that whole thing.
So when I first started, I was going down to Iowa and using FanDuel and DraftKings and all the other books and getting the bonuses, and even these casino hosts would reach out to you and even give you more bonus. So it was really good. I always recommend people to sign up for every account that has some kind of bonus. See if you like that book. If you're into this, if you don't like it, $200-$300 or $500, whatever you put into that sports book, give them a little trial. Don't like it, take it out. You don't have to use them, but use every one you can. See the ones you like the most, and host, depending on the size of the bettor you are, host might reach out to you and give you even more bonus. So that's my always been my recommendation to anybody.
I mean, we could talk about it right now. I mean, last night, the Cincinnati Baylor game, 1.5, and I'm giving the picks out on Match Show. We're 8 minutes till tip, and I'm like, well, it's 1.5 here at BetMGM, and it's look, man, Bet Rivers pay. It's 2.5 at DraftKings. Well, some people don't want to shop. And sometimes it's hard. Now, Max has the apps where he could punch in the game, and it gives you the, all 10, of our, or 10 or 12 of our mobile sites here in Louisiana, and it'll tell you what the best number is right now. I've got 5, and, over time, and I like to have ones that offer different things. But, man, the juice, it's just juice here. If you're going to do it on a regular basis, you're just at a disadvantage if you have just one mobile site.
Yeah, and if you're looking at other sites too, you can basically make your bet that you like it basically juice free. If you get an extra half point or 1 point, you'd have a nice advantage. But you're getting boost and all that other, and match plays. You're basically playing for juice free. So who wants to lay 110 when you can get bets at juice free?
Another one. There's only, I think, maybe 2 of the 12 mobile sites. I think, is that how many we have, Max? About 12, 14 in Louisiana. So, but it's 2. It's a Bet Rivers, and who else let you buy it onto a whole point in college basketball? 365, Bet 365. Randy, so DraftKings just disallowed it. Okay, so they used to let you do it. Like BetMGM, none of the others will let you do it. Now, if you get Beau Rivage, they charge you 15 cents. Well, that defeats the purpose. At Bet Rivers, it's like 9 cents. In every line, mid-January on, 8 or under, I'm talking about if I'm laying or catching, I'm buying at half a point because you got to hit 1 out of every 24 to pay for itself. Man, these lines are big. It's not football. It's college basketball. How many games a night, Charlie, falls right on the number or right within a half a point? If it's But on the other hand, DraftKings offers the lowest juice on 6-point football teasers. I mean, by far the best. And a win and a push is just a money line bet instead of a loss. When so few books are offered it, isn't that usually something that the player needs to really consider doing more, because it's a little bit of an advantage that some of the few that so many of them have outlawed?
Oh, absolutely. I always take advantage of whatever little rules you can find at different sports books, like you mentioned. You know, there's advantageous ways to buy half points in basketball. You know, that the 3 is pretty, 2.5 to 3, the 3.5 to 4, right around them numbers. It's okay to pay that extra juice if it's cheap enough, not the minus 115.
Right.
That's a good way to make yourself have a little better bet there, even though you're paying a little juice. So I definitely recommend see what their options are at every site and comb through and see what you like for a bet.
Give me an example of an evolution. And teasers, I think football teasers is a good one, how the juice is coming up. They used to be 6-point teasers were minus 110 everywhere, right?
When I started betting 6-point teasers, there were even money in NFL.
Really?
I used to drive. In fact, that's take me back to my story moving back to Laughlin. I used to drive up to Vegas, go to Las Vegas Club, where the Circa is now located, and I always kid Derek, can we bring back Las Vegas Club rules? And we get 6-point teasers at even money for a dime. And I used to drive up there every week and do those. So, and a lot of them had 110, and some of them had for 7 points would be minus 120. So there was always good stuff.
So when the little dog, your great grandson, little dog, when little dog has little dog, he'll be at the 5-0 roulette wheel, goes, man, remember Grandpa told us he used to have a single zero on here?
It sounds so outlandish, a 5-0 wheel, but if we live long enough, I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, Randy, are there any places that pay 1.5 for blackjack anymore instead of plus $1.20?
There was just a big casino in Vegas just off the strip. Of course, it used to be the Moose place, the Palms, but the Indian company took it over from California. But they just won all the 3-2 blackjacks, and guess what? Their pit is full of players.
Really?
Because of that in Vegas. So hopefully that's a good change for people. People that want to play a fair game. I believe Michael Gahn, too, at his South Point has never changed from 6 to 5. I believe all his are 3 to 2.
And Gong has the Rampart in the South Point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe his are all 3 to 2 there. So that'll be a good thing if they start showing some resistance, and maybe some of the strip properties will do that as well.
There you go. All right, big dog. Y'all going anything tonight? You're in hoops or hockey?
No, we got a lot of big dogs here in the college basketball, starting with Notre Dame here, betting number 697. If people still use rotation numbers, actually you can get a 14.5 here.
Okay.
I recommend them hanging in there with a Clemson team that looks like it might make a run maybe in the tournament, but see this as being, kind of a tweener spot for them, and getting 14.5 looks like a pretty good bet.
There we go. Anything else?
We got, let's see if the number's still there, 709 Charlotte. That number we got at 8.5 is down to 7. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. All right. Scratch that.
Let's see. Memphis minus 13, betting number 712. You still get 13, so I'd recommend that one.
Okay.
Don't lay points very often, but this Rice team has kind of been overperforming a little bit. But this line seems a little cheap here with Memphis team that needs to get it going. 2 for the tournament. 725. Let's see if this number's still there. 722. Excuse me. Southern Miss. You still get a +7 with them in a couple places, so I recommend them against home underdog against South Alabama.
Okay.
And then one of the last games on the board, 753 San Francisco getting +3 at Oregon State. like that one. Oregon State's kind of been overperforming at home, but getting them as an underdog looks like a pretty good price. So +3 on San Francisco.
I think Oregon State, like 14-2 at home. They beat Gonzaga at home, and I think the only loss to St. Mary's in Oregon.
Kind of schedule they playing without a league?
They're in the West Coast Conference.
Oh, they've been playing West Coast Conference.
So that's why they're playing Gonzaga and St. Mary's and all them. And then they picked up Oregon as well. Big Dog, great stuff as always, man. We appreciate the. I'm glad that you're excited about your move and taking over Charlie here on the radio. So got your room all fluffed up, but yard work will be required.
Learn how to pressure wash.
And I get a weekly comp every week from Jimmy at Mike Anderson.
Look, we will eat well. Don't worry about that. I'll feed you. You don't have to worry about that. Thank you, Randy. Have a great day. Don't forget our friends over at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds Legacy Title. For all of your real estate closings, 296-0060, full service title company, servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you dial 296-0060. Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. Live at lunch, live at Snows, Seafood and Steak, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Thibodeau store with some great specials right now on the website as we gear up for spring. I was talking about pressure washing. Outdoor power equipment from DeWalt on special right now on the website at ThibodeauStore.com. Also, your shop vacs from Channel Lock are 50% off on the website. Lots of big green egg cookers available for you in the different sizes there, and a ton of grills. Get on the website. A lot of the items have free delivery attached to them and significant discounts. They change them up a good bit, so you can check it out at ThibodeauStore.com. Cajun cookware, especially cookware shipped right to your door. Power tools, hand tools, plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, and if you want lumber delivered, they'll do that out of their sister property at the Pierre Part store. Online at ThibodeauStore.com. Visit the store in person at 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side. Get more of what you're looking for at L'Auberge Casino Hotel Baton Rouge. More variety with quick bites to fine dining, plus specials every day. More big screens and big games at our all-new ESPN Bet Sportsbook. More of the most popular slots and more ways to play tables with $10 bets up to high-limit games. And more ways to stay and play at the best casino hotel in Baton Rouge. Plus, join and play up to $500 on us. Make more memories with the area's favorite casino, L'Auberge Baton Rouge. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey guys, this is former Major League Baseball player and avid deer hunter David DeLucci. There's nothing better than spending time in the woods, making memories at the camp, and enjoying the land. If you're like me and dream of owning your own hunting property, remember the name First South Farm Credit. They've been financing rural land for over 100 years. It's just what they do. When you're in the market for land, make First South your first call. Stop by or find them online at firstsouthland.com.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
You're going to be hearing more about this story probably a lot in the coming days. 4 members of UNO's basketball team are being examined by the NCAA in an investigation related to sports gambling. They've been out for right at a month. It's for their top 5 scorers. So that's not exactly a new story. What is a new story is that UNO has hired a new director of basketball operations. Master P. Percy Miller is the new basketball operations director, president of basketball operations. That was announced this morning down in New Orleans. Other than a failed attempt at making a team, 30 years ago, and his son playing, I'm not sure how much basketball administrative experience he has.
Well, and then Jim Nagy just got on with Oklahoma as their new from the Senior Bowl.
He's got plenty of experience.
New general manager, but
Yeah.
I confuse Master P and Jim Nagy all the time.
Well, it's a little bit different. There's going to be a lot more on this story with the 4 players being investigated for the gambling.
Got to be on the games because the player props are illegal in Louisiana.
UNO got a new president. Hour number 2, straight ahead. It snows. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Ever ask a friend questions about their new pool and they don't know the answers? That means one thing. They didn't use Duplessis Builders. Duplessis Builders has a showroom, personal consultations, and they've literally written the book on building pools. That book is available for you to download for free at DuplessisBuilders.net. Every question, option, what to ask potential pool builders, everything you need to know about building your dream pool and more is at DuplessisBuilders.net. Click the tab Our Book. That's DuplessisBuilders.net.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Looking for a driving experience that goes beyond the ordinary? At Genesis of Baton Rouge, luxury is more than just a word. It's our promise to you. From cutting-edge technology to premium craftsmanship, Genesis vehicles are designed for those who demand excellence. Whether it's performance, comfort, or style, we offer it all, tailored just for you. At Genesis of Baton Rouge, your journey starts with a personalized buying experience. Let us introduce you to the future of driving. Visit us today at Genesis of Baton Rouge, where luxury and performance meet, on Airline across from Women's Hospital, or at genesisofbatonrouge.com.
When we started GMFS Mortgage here in Baton Rouge 26 years ago, do you know where we wanted our headquarters to be? Here's a hint. We've never moved. That's right. We started in Baton Rouge. Our loans are originated, processed, and underwritten in Baton Rouge. Every step of the mortgage process happens here in Baton Rouge. So when you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, please check out GMFSmortgage.com and choose GMFS Mortgage of Baton Rouge. We are your local lender.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 208, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 7
70806.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Enjoying the beautiful weather out here on the patio at Snows here, Highway 74.
Charlie, it's the Lanai.
The Lanai?
Yeah, Rabelais on deck.
Rabelais. That's one of Rabelais' favorite words.
Come on, man.
Is Lanai. Scott, how you doing?
That's a lot. It's a word from Fletch.
No, I know exactly where you got it from. When the lawyers
I hate to discuss business
on the Lanai, the lawyer, the bald-headed lawyer.
I hate to discuss business.
Rabs, I'm movie deprived, so I credit you.
Oh God, talking to you and Hunt Palmer, it's like talking another language.
You know what? I'm better than Hunt. I think I've seen more stuff than Hunt. I think he's got.
You know what the difference was? The difference was Hunt had a whole like a movie boot camp during COVID, and you did Game of Thrones when there were no games on. So he might have made up a little ground.
Let me tell you, Game of Thrones. I liked it so much, I did it twice.
You went and watched the same thing
again?
You talking about the House of Dragons
again.
Okay.
Oh, and House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon twice too. And I was bored. The games ran out, and I said, "Man, I went to one of my favorite episodes." Then watched it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I love that show. Them Targaryens get me, Charlie. I love them,
and I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll do that this summer. I'm a Game of Thrones. They
got some conniving and scheming going on, man. Them old cats.
I've heard the stories. Rab, we're getting down to the end of the regular season for women's college basketball, and the ladies at LSU have lost only 2 games this year, at South Carolina and at Texas, who's number 1 in the country this week. So that's about as good a resume outside of being undefeated as you can put up. I mean, if you're going to have 2 losses, these are the 2 losses probably to have. So based on what you saw Sunday at Kentucky, the big comeback there, how ready is this group for the NCAAs? They're still a couple weeks out.
Well, I mean, the big three are the big three, and I think Michaela Williams, and I'm talking about Michaela Williams and Issa Morrow and Flavier Johnson. Michaela Williams is becoming more and more of a leader, the person that they run their offense through. She can play multiple positions. You know, a lot of times Kim has to go 1 big and 4 guards, and Michaela being 6 foot, basically she can get in there and bang, and she can hit the outside shot, and she can drive, she makes free throws, she can handle the ball. That's really a plus. They don't have a great point guard situation. I would say that's the only thing, that they keep going. I asked Kim about that last week, and she started flipping her thumbs like she's flipping coins. It's last year or Cheyenne Day Wilson, and she keeps going back and forth between those 2 depending on the matchup, and so that's not great. They imagine she'd give a little bit to have Alexis Morris back in March and April one more time. But aside from that, they're still. It's pretty wide open this year, guys. I think. I think there's 7 teams that could win the national championship: South Carolina, Texas, UConn, USC, UCLA, Notre Dame, and LSU. And I think if they get the right matchup and things go their way, they can be that team. But overall, I think they're going to need a little more of the point guard position to get past the Elite 8, most likely.
What's the right matchup? We knew what the wrong matchup was 2 years ago when they won the national title. A team with a lot of size and physicality was going to give them trouble, and they managed to steer around the one team that had more of that than anybody, which was South Carolina. what's a bad matchup for this LSU team where those other top teams are concerned?
Yeah, well, we saw similar. I think we saw Kentucky Saturday build up 16-point first half lead, and they gave LSU trouble with their size, their length. Not real big physical players, but very tall and long players until they kind of figured out some things. And obviously a guard like Georgia Amore who can distribute it and can get other people involved in the offense. I would think that's the biggest thing. They're more of a finesse, but I guess the biggest thing, they're more of a finesse team, I think, than a very physical team. So if they can play another finesse team that wants to get up and down the court and run, LSU's like, fine, let's go. But if they're more a team that like Texas kind of plays that 40 minutes of hell style, which I just don't like, guys. It's just not my favorite way to watch basketball, where they just foul you, they just beat on you so much that the officials can't call everything. And I think that kind of team could pose them.
Is that what happened in Athens with that score where Georgia scored 20?
26, I think it was?
No.
26.
26. They scored 4, 5, and 6 in quarters.
Yeah. I think the final was 53-26 or 52-26.
I don't think it's 53.
57-26. They covered.
57. They covered. There you go. Yeah.
Well, if they didn't, God bless.
It's the fewest amount of points scored by a Southeastern Conference team ever. And I don't know if that's in conference games or in all. It got to be in all.
Is that right?
I saw that on the scroll. I think it was in Southeastern Conference games, but it might have been all games. 26 points is a high school score. You'll see that. In high school.
Yeah, I watched some of it. It looked like a high school game. Like you talk about the two losses LSU has, Charlie. By 10 on the road at South Carolina and by 7 at Texas. These are both games LSU could have won at home. They go to Alabama tomorrow night, and that's their last road game. Then they finish at home against Ole Miss. So they're probably going to. Ole Miss is good, but they're probably going to finish at home undefeated in their home schedule. These are two games they could have won if they played them in Baton Rouge. So what will happen when they meet? If they meet one of those teams, which is likely in the SEC tournament, I don't know. But if those are your two losses, as you said, to the number 2 and 3 net teams in the country, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Any game that they lose, either in these last two, Alabama and Ole Miss, or if they were to lose a game in the SEC tournament, I'm just going to guess it would be to one of the top teams. There's no way that they could drop out of the 2 seed, correct? Those wouldn't be bad losses. You don't think?
No. To what? No. If they don't, you're saying if they don't lose?
No. I'm saying if they were to lose a game, it would be to a there's not a bad loss left out there for them, I don't think. Okay, so if they lost to one of these, so their floor should. I'm saying this, but I'm asking you. Their floor should be a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, regardless of how this plays out the rest of the way.
I agree. Alabama's net is 17. Ole Miss is 12, and of course, you're likely to meet in the semifinals, either South Carolina or Texas, who are 2 and 3. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a little bit of a concern because LSU's non-conference record is so weak overall. They don't play a lot of great teams. Although their win over NC State way back in the day, way back early in the season in the Bahamas, they beat them by 17. Is looking better and better. They just beat Notre Dame in overtime.
Charlie Cream's got them projected as a 2 seed, right now. The women's version of Lenardi, Charlie Cream does their bracketology. He's got them as a 2 seed right now.
Job with that.
Yeah, he is good. Okay, so let me go.
LSU's non-conference strength of schedule is 188. They have 13 quadrant 4 wins. That's a lot.
Let's go the other way. Do they have to win the SEC tournament to be a 1 seed? Is there any maneuverability there?
I just think because their net is where it is. They're behind like Duke, who has 7 losses, in the net. I think they got to win something. I think they've got to win something to get a number 1 seed. But a 2 wouldn't be bad. They've been a 3 her first 3 seasons. They were a 3 when they won the title 2 years ago. So the 2 would be somewhat of an improvement.
All right. I saw this from Ross Dellinger. He this is a little bit off of the court stuff. He posted this thing about the revenue share breakdown over at Georgia. with what's coming in revenue sharing, $20.5 million from the House settlement starting in this summer. Georgia's athletic director actually put out the breakdown of how they're going to divvy up their money. And I would assume LSU, it's going to be pretty similar. They're going to divvy up the whole $20.5 million. Georgia announced that they're going to give 75% to football, 15% to men's basketball, 5% to women's basketball, and 5% to others, meaning every other sport on campus. I'm with you for the 75% in football, Rab, but I would imagine that if LSU's breakdown is the same as Georgia's is, that might ruffle a few feathers on the LSU campus where the women's basketball and baseball programs are concerned, while acknowledging that they still need to give more money to men's basketball. I don't know if you saw that tweet, but if the men's basketball program all of a sudden was out-resourced 3-1 by the men, I don't know how well that would go over here.
I don't think it would go over very well, but let's just take a holistic look at it. Man, somebody's going to sue over that. I mean, there's got to be a lawsuit already loaded up.
Haven't we been doing that for the last 5 years? I mean, this is the results of the lawsuit, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying, Title IX has to come into play at some point. I don't know.
Well, no, the Title IX lawsuit is coming. I know that, but I don't think the results of a Title IX lawsuit are going to be decided by July 1st when all of this kicks in. So at least for the moment, Scott Woodward's got to decide how to divvy up $20.5 million. I mean, this is like if you've got LSU's got 21 varsity sports. Okay, you got $20.5 million to divide up between 21 varsity sports, and he's got to decide who gets what. And football gets the bulk of this thing everywhere. He's got to decide how to divvy this stuff up. This ain't the easiest job because somebody's going to get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, and LSU is a little bit of a different school where, as we all know, football is number one. Sure, baseball is two. What's number three right now? Women's
gymnastics. I mean, if you're talking about gymnastics and women's basketball, as far as results on the court and attendance,
is softball ahead of men's basketball in popularity?
Well, it may be. It's not in terms of revenue for sure. In terms of on the field success, it is, but not as far as in terms of revenue. The whole idea is that men's basketball's got to raise their game, and we know that they're raising money, whether the results follow or not. I don't know.
So remember when I was telling you, where does LSU rank as far as in the conference for men's basketball with their budget? Where do they rank in, football? Where do they rank with baseball and women's basketball? There's another one that's passed up men's basketball on campus. Women's tennis.
What are you talking about? NIL money?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
where they rank in the conference.
The NIL money.
Go check out those two Canadian freshmen. They can hit it.
The NIL money, you got to go out and raise it yourself. LSU did a deal with Playfly where Playfly is basically to go out and solicit NIL deals for the players. But we're talking about, this is revenue share. This is direct dollars out of the school. So Georgia's the first comparable school to LSU that's actually released what they're going to do. I suspected that LSU's numbers would be similar to this, but that hasn't been made public yet. I was just curious your thoughts on the subject.
Wait, I'm just you talking about this is just football or overall?
This is athletic department. This is the athletic department.
Okay,
this is the
men and women.
This is the $20.5 million that the whole athletic department has to divvy up.
Men and women.
Yes.
Okay.
Men and women. Scott?
I think you use Georgia as a good rule of thumb. As you said, they are similar programs in a lot of respects, but I just think the breakdown is going to be a little bit different at LSU. I just think it's going to be a little bit different. But keep it in mind that they are saying, sources are saying that they're going to give more money to help men's basketball with roster building. But it's people. Y'all correct me y'all say if you disagree. I think LSU fans have become used to a program that is successful in a lot of sports. And they released last week, Michael Barnett put out a thing saying how many of their sports are ranked in the top 25 in the country. It's most of them. And I think this is something that people they're not going to say they don't want could you argue that you're sending good money after bad with men's basketball? They get so much more than these other sports. I don't know. I don't think it's going to go over just like it is at other schools where it's clearly defined. It's football, then it's men's basketball, then it's this and this and this.
Well, it's a complicated question because where is your best where's your best spot for revenue growth? If I'm Woodward, okay, my biggest spot for revenue growth is men's basketball. Put some butts back in the seats,
Scott. I don't think. I mean, 10 years ago when LSU wins the conference by 2 games as an 8 seed, that's one thing. When you got 12 or 13 teams going to the March Madness from your conference, I think that puts a lot of pressure, more than it used to, on the AD, your athletic department, to support men's basketball more. It's the most visible. I mean, it's the College World Series is great. It's not March Madness. It doesn't draw the ratings. It's just not. It's clearly the most highly visible, platform for your sport, minus the football program.
No, that is true. That is very true. But I think there's something to be said for all these other programs. Every time you go to look at a different sport, there's.
Well, let me ask you, Scott. How common is that in the 16 SEC programs? Because I would think that Texas A&M, and Florida, and maybe even Alabama, that would be the case. Tennessee also, but maybe not so much at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. Bet is probably pretty well funded across the board. How common is that across the league?
Yeah, I think it's pretty common. I think everybody's got some sport that's not as great as others. I mean, Auburn obviously, not great in football right now. Doing excellent in men's basketball. Very good in gymnastics. Decent in baseball. Not good in women's basketball. Everyone's got some sport where things are lagging. But I think you're right. It's a tough baby to divide, as the old proverb goes. It's going to be difficult because you want to be good in all these things, and I think people have become accustomed to that, and LSU fans, and it's not going to be easy to just lavish a lot of money on one program than another. That said, men's basketball, if you want to say growth, potential for growth is you can do more roster building. But how good? What's the ceiling? How good is LSU going to be? Can LSU be in basketball what, say, Alabama has become?
Hell yeah!
Or
why can't they?
They
got way more history than Alabama did before Oates got there. Absolutely.
The question is going to be to gain more money. Okay, you can gain as much money as you want in NIL as long as it's legit. That's why they're hiring Playfly to do this. The revenue sharing has a cap on it. It's $20.5 million for now. That's a static number. The NIL number is not. Scott, we could talk for all days about how none of us have enough money, but we got to go. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you next week.
And you know what? I'm abroad tomorrow. Auburn's first gymnastics win in Tuscaloosa ever.
Who told you that?
I watched it.
You did not. You did not watch Alabama Auburn gymnastics. It was on in the Queen while you were watching something else. Come on, man. You ain't running that one by me. Ain't no way.
I watched it.
You got a cousin on the
at Auburn plus 45.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Point 45.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes: 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. My buddy Martin Padial has been over at this Workbox thing for quite some time. He's got it mastered, man. Units can be customized for any type of use that you want. Anything from a duck blind to a lunchroom, office, dual purpose, part office, part storage. We can design it however you want using different materials that you need. The lighting, shelving, climate control, you name it. Give my buddy Martin Padiella and Workbox a call at 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Live at Snow's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, They play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Go local and go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. No monthly maintenance fees, no balance requirements, and no strings attached. Just the safety and security that comes with Baton Rouge's largest credit union. And with direct deposit set up through NFCU's Early Payday program, you can get access to your funds up to 3 days early. Come by one of our 11 area branches or apply online at neighborsfcu.org. Go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
There's never been a better time than now to get out of those contacts, glasses, or readers. LASIK is one option, but you'll find even more vision correction procedures at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn about all of the vision correction surgery options and which one is best for you with a free consultation. Call 924-2020 or visit williamsoneye.com, where you can even schedule online. Williamson Eye Center, now 8 locations to serve you around the greater Baton Rouge area. Schedule online, williamsoneye.com.
Picture your dream bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom, whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation. The great thing about One Bath and Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath and Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Need a lift in the bedroom? It's more common than you think. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness is here to help you rise again. With our expert care, you can regain your peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Oh, boy. We're feeling for my boy, Wes. And please, Wes, tell me, because it's so hard to hedge in golf, but you certainly had a chance here after 18 in the playoff. There's a pause there, a 15-minute sort of break for them to kind of regroup and head back to the 18. But please tell me you hedged. And I mean, the first 3 golfers you gave me, Smalley, Hogard, and the Pot Geeter was 4th. But 3 of the first 4 you gave us, man, they're on the leaderboard in the middle of that 4th round. Did you hedge? Well done, Wes.
I did. So we made a small chunk of change getting out on Brian Campbell. Had to, even though I didn't think I was going to have to, because you would think, Jimmy, because it kind of played out with Pot Geeter like we thought it was going to do. I said he was the longest hitter on the PGA Tour, and he was number one in driving distance last week down in Mexico. He was also number one in putting for the entire week. So you're thinking, okay, it's a par 5. He's out driving this guy by about 40 to 50 yards every single time. Brian Campbell, by the way, coming in last week, was 182nd out of 182 players in driving distance. So you're like, okay, you're going to take your chances with the South African here on the par 5, but I still bought out a little bit. Probably a good thing I did because, I mentioned with Dick Taylor at the Sony Open, probably got fortunate to win that one and then got unfortunate and unlucky on Sunday with that ball bouncing off the trees. That thing was heading dead out of bounds for Brian Campbell on that second playoff hole and winds up getting a win. And the journeyman finally wins on the PGA Tour, and the young 20-year-old prodigy has to wait for another time.
Yeah, and didn't you say that the Campbell, the winner, he's dead last? Is that what you did? Did you just say that again?
In driving distance.
Yes.
Driving distance. Coming into last week, he was 182nd.
So for that 2-second span or whatever, what went through your head when it hit the tree? And I think it was Smiley Kaufman, the LSU golfer, says, oh, no, he's going to need a bounce. A pause. Oh, and he got it. What's going through that mind of yours, Wes? I mean, for that those couple of seconds.
Well, when I saw that shot tracer, I was like, that's going out of bounds, or that's going in jail here with no chance for parole. So we may get Potgieter home and gave a little back, catching out on Campbell. So I was like, man, that's got no chance. And then sure enough, it gets this phantom bounce. It's almost like somebody caught the ball and threw it back in the rough. Because that was absolutely going out of bounds, and he was going to be done and was going to have to retee that thing. And there's no chance that he's going to win, but found a way to do it. Potgieter really hit a couple bad iron shots. I don't know if that was his decision or his caddy's, but he got some bad yardage because he was a couple yards off. He hit it in that bunker. If he's a couple yards better, he's 15 feet for eagle and probably going to win the thing.
I'll bring Max along with this as well. Did he tighten up a little bit, or were the pin placements that much tougher on Sunday? Because the scoring, or was it just bad golf by some guys that Smiley were talking about? All these guys have never been in this position before.
I honestly thought a lot of the guys just kind of fell back to the field. I thought the winning score during the round was going to be like 22, 23 under par at least. And just nobody went out there and took it. I thought somebody with distance who had that advantage, like Potgieter, would go ahead and take that. And for whatever reason, just a little tight with some of his swings. Wasn't quite as crisp. I will say, Wes, condolences, but SVP has the bad beats segment. He has a part 2 for like the worst bad beats. This was part 2 last night. First golfer he put on bad beats. So it was a rough one.
Wes, I found even money on the winner because a Potgieter was a favorite. You have some juice, but the best I could find was even money going into the playoff there. Is that what you found too?
Well, a little better. I got $1.20.
Oh gosh,
on it.
Okay.
On 18. It's still in regulation, but yeah, because I wasn't going to hedge. I was going to see how it was going to go, and I was like, once it got down to 2, because you had to worry a little bit about the fact that Celinda got in the clubhouse at 19 under par, and that's assuming these guys have to birdie 18, but it became clear that they were going to, and Celinda was going to be out of it. So once it got down to 2 guys, because I was debating what to do before Sunday's final round, because I knew I wanted to get out of Potgieter a little bit, but at Circa they have the yes/no prices, which is a good way to kind of cover all your bases. But you would have had to lay minus 130 on the no for Potgieter, and I wanted to get as close to even money or some small plus money, and was able to fortunately do that.
And Max, you got to think like this guy, once he got out the tree, I mean, he's playing with the house's money, huh? I mean, you got to get out of jail. There's no stress now. Why let it rip? And he hit 2 great shots.
Well, what helped too is he had a layup. He wasn't going to get there to the green in 2. And what's really, carried him all week was his wedge play, and he hit it one pretty close. So it wasn't a very difficult shot in from where he was. The wedge shot, 60 yards with plenty of green to work with.
Well, he was perfect on those 2. All right. So what are we looking at this week, Wes?
Yeah, the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches used to be known as the Honda Classic for many years at PGA National. And good, solid field, not a lot of elite company at the top because, quite frankly, this course is hard. And a lot of these guys take this week off, even though it played a little bit easier last year with some of the soft conditions with the weather. But I said it a few weeks ago on our Long Shots podcast that I was going to play Daniel Berger pretty much every Florida event this month because I think, he lives there in Jupiter. So I feel like a win is just coming, whether it's here, whether it's at the Players or at the Valspar, maybe Bay Hill. So I played Daniel Berger. I think he's about 25-1 on market average now.
Yes.
Had that back injury where he was out for a year and a half. He's just outside the top 50 right now in the official world golf ranking. So he's got to get in that top 50, and that'll get him in the Masters. I think he could go well here. And then another Florida guy who's never won in the state of Florida, in the Sunshine State as a professional, and I know that he takes that to heart, the former Florida Gator. That's Billy Horschel, who I bet at 55-1. He's won twice in the last calendar year, and he's looking to make that Ryder Cup team for the first time. Ninth year last year, was the first-round leader 2 years ago. Top 10 3 times in the last 8 appearances here. And if you've watched that TGL, he's been playing pretty well, been fiery personality. So Billy Horschel, I think, will embrace the grind here. And then another guy that had some success here a couple years ago and ended up finishing 4th was Ryan Gerard at 75 on. I think he's now in the 60th range. He got that special temporary membership because of that finish. Then couldn't keep his card, had to go down to the Corn Ferry last year, won on the Corn Ferry, earned a spot back on the tour, a couple top 20s coming in here. Actually won on this course back in 2015, so about 10 years ago, as a junior golfer in what was the Polo Junior Classic. So at least does have a win at PGA National. And then one guy played that the model really didn't like, but I'm taking a flyer here. Christian Bezuidenhout at 80-1. The ball striking is horrible, but the scrambling and the putting are terrific. And you're going to have to be good around the greens here. Even though these greens are big, you're going to have to be good because you've got water and you've got a lot of potential bogeys out there lurking on the course, especially in that bear trap. He's played pretty well in Florida in years past. So Bezuidenhout 80-1. And then another guy right around 80-1, Bud Cauley, who leading the PGA Tour in scrambling, top 20 in total stroke gain. Remember, he missed about 3 years, the Alabama golfer, due to injuries that he suffered in a car accident. So he's now back. And then one guy that was a little bit of a sore spot for me because I had him in the playoff 2 years ago at a big price, and he hit one in the water in the playoff hole, and Chris Kirk ended up winning, and that's Eric Cole.
Yeah.
You can get around 90-1. Form has been shaky, but top 5 earlier this year at the Sony at Waialae, and that has really good correlation with this event. I think he's had 4 guys in the last 15 or so years that have both won the Sony and won this event at PGA National. So I think there could be a correlation there. And then the 2 triple-digit bombs really quickly. I mentioned the Sony Open where I had Dick Taylor and got very fortunate. Well, the guy he beat in the playoff was a guy named Nico Echeverria, who ended up being the runner-up. Colombian player, 2-time winner now on the PGA Tour, won the Zozo last fall, was the runner-up at the RSM Classic at the end of the year. So he's been playing pretty solid golf. And then another guy that could be a horse for the course here, and has actually won on this course all the way back in 2015 when he won what was then the Web.com Tour, now the Corn Ferry Tour Q School by 7 strokes at PGA National, and that's the Canadian Adam Svensson at 110-1. He was 9th here in 2022, won the RSM Classic later that year. Big price, and you got to find those little nuggets, for these big prices and take chances, because here at this event, it's usually a shorter price guy or a long shot that wins this thing.
Yeah, and we got Ryan Gerard at DraftKings is 75-1.
You might hear him later.
Yeah, Max, he's on your radar.
75-1, yeah.
He's on your radar as well. Wes, good basketball last night and college hoops. Got another nice card tonight. Anything that you're on?
Yeah, unfortunately, the number is gone with Fierro being out for Arkansas, but I did take Texas. This is do or die for these guys, in my opinion. I know Lenardi has them more comfortably in the bracket than Arkansas, but I went with Texas just because they lost to South Carolina, of course, on Saturday, and the Gamecocks had not won an SEC game all year. So now you're going and playing an Arkansas team that beat Missouri, who just rocked Alabama. So just on that principle, I kind of like the Longhorns here, even though you're getting it down to 3. And I think I'm going to play BYU here as well. 4.5. There are some 5s out there. BYU just hung on. Controversial call at the end, but they hung on to the McHale Center against Arizona. So now you're playing this erratic Arizona team that's 13-14. I think ASU gives them a good effort tonight. I think this is a tricky spot for BYU. And then I will mention one thing about the Hoosiers. I would be very careful laying that 6.5 against Penn State, because now it's all in front of Indiana, where they could actually probably make it into the NCAA tournament if they win out. And they got 4 winnable games, but beware, coming off that great second half against Purdue, that's a tricky spot for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, I liked them on Sunday, had them, but I'm worried about that. And the way it happened as well, flipping a double-digit deficit into a double-digit win. Wes, is that accurate? They have the number 1 player payroll in the Big Ten for basketball?
No, that is accurate in terms of the NIL. I don't know where it is nationally. It's near the top, but yeah, this is a several million-dollar roster that was disappointing. And if you watch that Purdue game that you mentioned, Jimmy, on Sunday, a couple of these guys, Mike Woodson, now that he's not going to be the coach, he doesn't have to worry. He's like, I'm out of here. I don't have to worry about kissing these players' backside. So you saw Mackenzie Mbako sit the entire second half. Umar Ballo had some of his minutes cut, and he went Ironman basketball. Played like 4 guys all 20 minutes in the second half. He's like, I want to beat Purdue. I'm not worried about considering these players' feelings. And you know what? It paid off for Indiana. That was a big win on Sunday.
Like a lame duck politician. I don't care who I piss off. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it.
Like Campbell in a tree, or got out the tree, and Mike Woodson. What the hell? Let's, let it rip. I mean, to me,
why not, man?
Yes, it did. And look, that's Wes, you're coaching. I've talked to some coaches too. They're timid to coach sometimes. They're just they're worried. I mean, they never stop recruiting, pandering, whatever you want to call it. I mean, pampering. I mean, it's and some of the ones like Kelvin Sampson go to his practices, even though he's almost impossible to like. But Hurley at UConn, go to their practices. They're coaching.
Well, I'm glad you brought them up, because Kelvin Sampson, one thing I've always admired about him is he says defense is just attitude and effort. He can teach defense. And that's the trick in college basketball right now. Recruit offense, teach and coach defense. It's offense that wins championships. And Danny Hurley says that, and he's right.
Wes, we were downtown Indianapolis doing the shows for the Final Four when that news was coming out, and Indiana was on their coaching search about too many phone calls. I mean, for what year was that, Charlie? LSU Final Four. Where at the what they call it, the Square Center downtown, where John Cougar performs and everything. So we, I remember really, this is why you're running this guy off? I mean, I don't know. So, Wes, great stuff.
There were some other things as well, but Kelvin is doing very well at Houston, and Indiana's still searching.
Gotcha. Well, are they going to get in a guy that they're on fire? Because they're 6 for 6.
They got to get somebody. I mean, I'm holding.
And Wes is back on Twitter as well now at Wes Reynolds 1. After he won. He beat account? Elon. Yes, Wes greater than Elon, huh?
Wow, he got getting his own account back after getting hacked.
Is that right, Wes?
He must have been down at Mexico and didn't pay attention to my Twitter account.
Thank you, Wes at Wes Reynolds 1. Great stuff. Our Golf Consensus Report will be back in just a second. Brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. Your law firm for a lifetime, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Never a charge for the initial consultation. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's specialized team of attorneys and not hesitated to recommend them to our friends when they were in similar situations. Downtown, Dana Brown, 343-111. 1111 and ocbrown.com.
Live at Snow's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today. 225-400-3835.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Nothing is more important than your safety and security. Trust the local team at Audio Video Security Solutions to handle your home or commercial surveillance system. Mitchell Fisher and his team can provide all the necessary equipment and installation so you can monitor your home or business 24 hours a day. Get 24-hour live viewing, recording, and playback while avoiding any cloud storage fees. Multiple different systems are available for demo at their showroom on Jefferson Highway. Visit them online at avssla.com. That's avssla.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozie's Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozie Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
You've heard me talk about GiveMeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customer said about GiveMeTheVin.com buyer Mike.
Excellent experience with the company. Mike was my point man, and he made everything as smooth as possible. Even though I hit a few snags on my end, he was patient, and we made a deal. It was hassle-free, and I would not hesitate to sell another car to GiveMeTheVin.com again.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me talk about that patented non-toxic dry fog treatment to sanitize, kill mold, remove odor, and other harmful pathogens. Well, they've merged to create Parish Restoration. Learn more at parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com, and hit the restoration tab. Parish Restoration has knocked out mold in buildings as small as your home up to one of the largest commercial buildings in the entire state of Louisiana. Servicing all of Louisiana, visit parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com.
This is Charles Haniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Our Wednesday consensus golf picks are brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
And today's show also brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance, you want to stop shop for all of these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Service today, every day, so you don't have to go to sleep uncomfortable. Full service staff in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge, an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Ream AC units, Generac and Cummins generators for all your electrical and plumbing needs as well. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
All right, Max, let's get to yours before we get off with the consensus picks. We have 4 of them today.
Yeah, Cognizant, I've actually done well this tournament. Hit the last 2 winners here, so hopefully I can keep that going. Eckroat won it last year, and then Chris Kirk a couple of years ago. Going to start off, I'm avoiding the top of the board. I don't trust a whole lot of these guys. When they're in the mix, they tend to fold like we saw last week. So I'm going to start my card at 50-1 with Kurt Kitayama, someone who was very popular last week but burned a lot of people at the Mexico Open, missed the cut, but putted terribly This is a different surface on Bermuda, so it's a whole lot different. And he fits this course in that he's a good ball striker. He finished third place in his last showing here in 2022. So I like him fitting this week despite the miscut last week. Keith Mitchell, a guy who's been very familiar with Bermuda in his life, lives, I believe, in South Carolina right now, a Georgia Bulldog. He's got that dog in him, so if he needs it down the stretch, he'll take that into account. Top 40 finishes in all 4 of his starts in 2025, and has a good track record here. 1 in 2019, top 10 finishes in the last 2 appearances. So Keith Mitchell at 55-1. Jonathan Vegas, 80-1, someone who's also been very consistent here, avoids the water hazards, which there are plenty off the tee, and he's done pretty well as of late. Made the cut in his last 2 starts and doing pretty well with his approach play. So I like him. His best finish tied for 4th back in 2017 at this event. Ryan Gerard, you heard him earlier. He's as high as 80-1, 75-1. A great number right now at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Gerard, just somebody who makes a lot of sense here. He's from Chapel Hill, so he's also familiar to Bermuda. We're seeing that shift to the Florida swing. They've been on the West Coast. They're playing a lot of different type of grass types. This is very unique. He's made the cut in all 4 of his appearances in 2025. Top 20 in his last 2 starts, including 17th last week, and also his lone appearance here at the Honda, or once the Honda, now the Cognizant, finished 4th place in 2023. So it makes a lot of sense there. Jake Knapp, 100-1 this week. Someone who also finished inside the top 5 last year. He was coming off a win, so it was an impressive performance to back up a win with a top 5 finish. He also has been playing well as of late. Finished top 25 last week as a defending champion of the Mexico Open, but is doing really well on approach, so he makes a lot of sense this week at 100-1. Jacob Bridgman, 130-1. Guy who doesn't really have a whole lot of results so far this year, but one of the very popular buckets we'll see from iron play this week is from 150 to 175 yards. A lot of approaches for all the field are going to come from that range. He is number 1 in the field in that stat over the last 50 rounds. So someone who could maybe get hot with his irons, also finished tied for 28th in his only appearance last year at the Cognizant Classic. And finally, Sam Ryder at 140-1. Just a real shot here. He has never won on the PGA Tour, did win on the Korn Ferry Tour back in 2017, but has played very well in 2025, has yet to miss a cut, has some good approach play numbers as well, and also a very good track record here. In his last 3 starts, 8th place, 9th place, 21st. So he's suited well here, avoiding the water hazards, which are very problematic. That can ruin a lot of rounds, and you'll see it happen. You'll see some good players miss the cut because they hit it in the water off the tee. But Sam Ryder rounds on my card at 140.
All right, we'll start with him when we give out the consensus picks leading into our unanimous pick, and that is Sam Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R, just like a Ryder from Walk-Ons in Burley. You know him, Max? Yes, indeed, our buddy Ryder. So Sam Ryder is your first one. Adam Svensson, S-V-E-N-S-O-N, not Swenson, Svensson. And Max, the best number we getting on him is a pretty good one, huh? And that's the last one that Wes mentioned. So
yeah, 120-1.
120-1. Florida Gator, Billy Horschel is another one. Looking at I saw DraftKings was 50-1.
55 is the best you can find, but 50 is very, very good.
Where's 55?
FanDuel.
FanDuel, okay. And then, well, I can remember them playing this damn fight song in the early 80s in the Superdome, the Final Four, Charlie. North Carolina, baby. Chapel Hill. Michael Jordan from the left wing. Let's get it home. All 3 of our contributors have Ryan Gerard. So Ryan Gerard is a unanimous pick. Then it's Billy Horschel, Adam Svensson, and Sam Ryder, our golf consensus picks. The others mentioned by a third contributor, Jeff, was Russell Henley, Sepp Straka, and Tom Hoagie. So that gets you out. You heard Max and Wes's other golfers early. So the top 3 of the 4, 3 of the top 4 that Wes gave out last week were in the leaderboard. Hogard and who was the other one? Max was
Ventura was up there.
Smalley,
Springer, and Smalley.
Yeah,
we had a few right on the mix.
Smalley and Hogard were they had a shot. They had a shot.
Of course, Pot Eater.
Pot Man, Charlie.
You know what Dean Smith told Michael Jordan after he hit the shot in that game? Remember this? Make sure the projector gets on the plane, freshman. Jordan's told that story before. He said, "Yeah, what did he tell me the next day?" He said, "Make sure the freshman get the projector and the rest of the gear on the plane."
Only man that can stop Michael Jordan.
That's it. Dean Smith.
Dean Smith.
Held him to 16.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So that's wrapping up. Got a lot of college basketball tonight as well. We'll have Otter Locks later in the show, but I tell you, I'm against Wes on 2. That's 2 of my favorite plays tonight. So
you like BYU?
No, I do not.
No,
I do.
You like Arizona State?
Yes, I do.
They throw in a big performance. That was a hell of a game.
He's a bad coach.
Yeah,
they got talent, dude,
and they just throw in a game here and there
Yes.
where they play well, like against Kansas State. I didn't see that one coming to go in on the road by double digits, but they've been bad for most of the month of February. And every now and then they throw in one.
Spot to big win to follow up by BYU.
That was an exhausting game Saturday
night. They shot the lights out, man. They were ready that night. One of those return trip where you lost on your home court. One team didn't quite fare so well last night. That lost at their home court, that returned a trip last night, they gave up 111.
Mississippi State
in the Dumbola. Coleman, yeah,
got over. They had to work at it. Brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, help them realize all their goals, no matter what your age or what your income level. Coastal Capital Advisors will build that lifetime relationship. I know, because they've had one with me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376. Online, coastalcapitaladv.com. Let them help you out in retirement where no 2 situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors. Securities offered through New Age Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. Back to wrap it up. It snows live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides.
Back, I'm on him. Hey, you ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna walk on tomorrow.
It's rolling.
Sure, Jordan.
Set to return.
Join me, Jimmy Ott and Charles Henniger, for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, live at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., live at lunch, live at Walk-Ons, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
If you live in Louisiana, you know what the dozens of plants up and down the river mean for our state's economy. And since 1982, Action Industries has been committed to providing quality construction, maintenance, operational, and consulting services throughout the refinery and petrochemical industries. When it comes to safety and quality, Action Industries beats the industry standard. Call today or visit actionindinc.com. That's actionindinc.com.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closing, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit GMFSmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender.
GMFS. NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
The worst corridor for sex trafficking is New Orleans to Houston. Meninoia Manor is a safe house for trafficked girls. It helps with their healing and provides education and life skills. Donate now at helpprotectthesegirls.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
Parishbuilt.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Couple more picks before we get out of here. We're in some disagreement on a couple of games. I like Sparty Party tonight. I'm going to take Izzo. You're right, Jimmy. At the end of a tough stretch, Illinois, Purdue, and Michigan, they won all three of those games and won them comfortably. I like them going to Maryland tonight. This is up to 4.5 now. They're catching. Maryland hadn't played anybody good in a month. Now they're on a win streak, but they haven't played anybody good in a month. I like Izzo. Football 4.5.
Good luck. Not.
And you like the Piggies tonight?
Yeah, Arkansas in a big way. Texas got a better overall resume, but these are two teams in opposite directions right now. And addition by subtraction, when that guy got off, man, they're playing much better, coaching much better. I'd like Arkansas at a cheap price at home.
Thanks to Snows, we're at the original walk-ons tomorrow. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks, Jordan. Talk to you tomorrow.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito,